I'm going to invite you to co-host, Dog. Pantani, how you doing, Pantani? Rebecca, Aurora. Oh, Aurora Community. Man, Aurora Community, you almost got me, bro, because I almost made you like a co-host. That would have been hilarious. Also, everyone, this is AMA for Amaterasu team and also Aurora Core team. Welcome, everyone. We'll be getting started pretty soon. Dog, feel free to pin any relevant tweets from us recently. Hi, Rebecca. How's it going?
Hey there. Hey, man. How are you?
I'm pretty good. So you are an official representative of the Aurora team, right? What is your position there?
So we are from Aurora Labs. So we were doing BD, and actually Brian Colligan here with me as well. You guys had him on the call a couple of weeks before, and also Aurora community here. So yeah, here we are.
Awesome. All right, I just sent Brian an invite as well. Is there anybody else from the team up here in the space so far?
Let me see. Actually, Cowboy Crypto should be joining us. It's one of our team. You also met him on the call.
Okay. Whenever he joins in, just go ahead.
For sure.
And then also community, y'all's Aurora community account there. You actually have ability to bring up people as well. Community, are you on mic today, or are you just doing admin stuff?
Yeah, I'm actually online. Just here to catch up and help in every way we can to bring community to the fold of the magic you have for us on Aurora.
Awesome. Yeah, so we are launching today. We're launching in just, I think it's about an hour, isn't it, Goat?
Yep, about an hour, man.
Awesome.
Super stoked about it.
Awesome. I'm going to invite Dog to speak again here. Crypto Cowboy Crypto is... I've actually met him in person. So we actually had lunch in like downtown Dallas just a couple weeks ago, which is how I kind of got like my in-person experience with the Aurora team. He's actually a native of the same city as I am. So it's pretty awesome.
Yo, what up, Lou?
How you doing, bro? Do you go by your real name on here?
Cowboy's good.
Cowboy's good. All right, awesome. I don't see Peaches in here.
Oh, weird. He DM'd me. He's not on my list either.
Yeah, I'm not seeing him. I think Peaches is in the wrong AMA. He's probably just over there with something random.
For sure. I just messaged him. We'll get it sorted out.
Also, I'm going to invite one of my buddies up here as well, called Mustard, see if he has any questions for us first. Also, if you want to ask a question, since this is an AMA, you can just request to speak and we'll try to get through to you, especially if you've got like other things going on. We want to make sure that we're respectful of everyone's schedules. So if you have something that you want to ask, even if it's in the beginning, feel free to do so. I think there's a couple of questions, such as like what we plan to do to differentiate ourselves and things like that are kind of basic, and those are being asked kind of by Aurora. However, if you guys and girls in the chat have any questions, please feel free to request for those. All right, Aurora community, did you want to get us started?
Yeah, I don't know who's on that account, but I'll kick us off. What's going on, everybody? You guys all know Flu. Is the Aurora community here. We're really excited for the Amaterasu launch, and so we thought we'd bring the team on and kind of pick their brains about what's going on, what they're thinking. Flu, give us the master plan about how you're going to take down or take over and be the master Dex. Glad everyone could be here. Let's keep it respectable, and I'm sure we'll have a good conversation.
Everybody's pumped. Everybody's waiting to hear what you guys have to offer, what difference you guys are bringing to the table. I've looked at your team. Personally, I've gone through your team and I'm like, wow, you are bringing in an A-list team here, like super experienced team. So I'm pumped myself. And let's just get started and let's hear what you guys have for us in the community.
Absolutely. And one thing I'd like to say right away, the first question that you asked, Cowboy, is how do we plan to take over? And I guess my answer to that was I don't really plan on taking over. I plan on being like a complementary part of the ecosystem here on Aurora, because I think that kind of cooperation is key in the blockchain. I think that people try to compete and try to be cutthroat a little bit too much. And with that being said, I think I'll pass it over to Dog because he has like a whole thing on this. I think Dog and Goat probably both have comments on this one. By the way, Dog is our CEO. He's like kind of our head honcho. I'm just hosting this space because I have a lot of Twitter followers. All right, Dog.
All right, guys. I'm Dog. So basically, we're still really new in the crypto space. I think we all know that. And we're not really looking to, compete. We're looking to grow. Instead of, in like a game theory, we're not trying to take a slice of anyone's pie. We don't want to take a slice of Tri-Solaris' pie. We want to grow the pie all together and onboard new members on the Aurora blockchain. So yeah, basically we want to bring other people from other chains that we work with. We've had success on all these chains. And we want to do the same thing with Aurora. We see Aurora as like a young Harmony. We see a lot of potential with the fast transaction speeds, low costs, and the base team that they have there. Goat, is there anything that you'd like to add?
I mean, I think you hit that pretty well. Yeah, I think that more than just what we're initially going to come in and do, we have a lot of future plans of how we want to grow on the network. So it's not just about our initial product of a DEX, but the types of other things that we'll do to create utility for our token down the line, which we're really excited about.
Awesome.
I think that one thing that we're going to be bringing, Cowboy, is the fact that we've already gotten some agreements from some bridge partners to bring over some assets that are not heavily liquid on Aurora network currently.
Okay.
And so there'll be more about that like tomorrow. I think we're going to be doing sort of like an official announcement. However, just bringing over liquidity from other chains, bringing over people from other chains. We're going to have bonds operational within a really short period of time because we've already built them on Harmony for a DEX there. We have a bunch of experience on some other chains that will be very helpful in this because we're pretty used to just doing cross-chain work, and there's some large projects that we've been involved with in the past where we know that partnerships are pretty crucial for that. So getting that bridge on board pretty quickly has been really crucial for us, and that's how we kind of hope to expand y'all's ecosystem a bit.
Awesome. That sounds great. Fluent team. I mean, I think it'd be great. I feel like everyone's kind of been alluding to it, to talk a little bit about you guys' your team makeup and, not looking for the X and the O's, but maybe some of those key pieces that you were mentioning. You guys have built bridges on another chain. You guys have built the bondings. You guys have built all this stuff everywhere else. It sounds like you guys are pretty credible. So maybe giving the community an insight into how cool your team is and where all these pieces came from.
Dog, you're unmuted. That means that you got to go first, buddy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, so basically, we were all pretty early on Harmony, even a lot earlier than a lot of the core team on there. We started, we had to make APIs for graphs. There were no actual graphs on there or anything. We started that on there. We built our own RPCs on there. We built it from the ground up. Before there was any DEXs, we were there. When Viper first started, Mochi first started, which isn't there anymore. We helped build all that, at least the community around it, not those projects. Our projects were later to follow.
Technically, Dog, Crypto Gains was on team for Mochi Swap.
That's a good point.
So he did actually build one of the first DEXs on Harmony. So
that's true. That's a good point. So basically, we've seen how everything evolved. We know what it takes, and we want to do that again over here. And not only that, we know that the future is cross-chain. It's not just one chain dominant. It's not one chain to rule them all. And we see a huge potential over here, and we want to make it happen.
Cool. And tell me, maybe dive into that a little bit deeper as well. Why, you guys have had all this success on Harmony, and now you guys are looking to make some of those successes happen again on Aurora, because you guys believe the future is cross-chain. But why Aurora first? Why is this the first place you guys' team is looking?
Because we talked with you guys, and honestly, you guys gave us the time of day, and we really liked your infrastructure that you guys have laid out. There's open communication, everything's all transparent, and we couldn't think of a better place to build than Aurora.
Something that I've discovered over time is that the technology comes separate and second to the people that are actually involved in any one project. And if you don't have quality people within the upper echelons of the project or network or whatever, it's not going to be successful, or it's going to have a brief period of success, and then their true colors will show. They'll show that they're kind of soft rugging themselves by paying themselves insane amounts of money, or they're prioritizing their own profits over the communities. Whatever. There's a million different ways that you can mess up an otherwise above the board project here in Web3. And I think that focusing on that people side, just like with the bridge partners a partner that we've been working with, focusing on that people side is the way to success.
Okay, cool. I mean, I just want to answer with full transparency, Cowboy, is we got together and saw the team of people that we had, and we were excited to bring a project that would really help out a young chain. And there was a second where we didn't really know where we were going to go, and we were looking at different chains. And when we had that first interaction with the Aurora team, and every single interaction since, it's just been very direct communication, welcoming us with open arms, nothing but support, retweeting us, writing up articles. I mean, you can't really ask for anything more from a blockchain when you're building on it. And it just really builds that trust and mutual respect that we were looking for with the experience that our team has.
Yeah, community, I was just going to invite you to continue what you were going to say, buddy.
Okay. Just following up on what Cowboy mentioned, and still speaking about people. Yes, we understand you've been speaking with the Aurora team, and I can definitely, from personal experience, there's always direct communication with Aurora team, very open, very direct. But are you also speaking with any protocols on the chain currently? And any communication with other protocols, partnerships in play, plans to work with who and who? And anything in play for that, or any plans for that?
I've gotten some very early communication with JPEGs, and also I've been working a lot with Manufactory, who just received a NEAR grant, I believe, and I've been following up that a bit with Cowboy to make sure that we're paying attention to that project, because I don't know if you've actually seen that project's website, but it's very, very cool. It's got a lot of animation from what he was telling me, and you can actually look at this on the website because a lot of the team members are docs. A lot of those game developers that are on that project actually come over from AAA companies like Electronic Arts. So that's a very exciting project that we can't wait to work with, not only here on Aurora, but also cross-chain on Harmony. As far as other protocols, the aforementioned bridge partner that is going to be announced tomorrow. And then we've also been in contact with some lending and borrowing protocols, because I'm the owner of an Aave fork on Phantom that'll soon be going to another chain. We actually just finished our deployment yesterday, and it's successful. So, and that lending protocol, we don't even have a token yet, because we kind of wanted to go cross-chain and kind of build first and expand and sort of do the token after it. It's kind of secondary to everything. Showing that everything kind of self-sustaining is more important. So we're talking with them, obviously, to see about implementing some of their functionality, and other places as well. I think Goat might have a couple more.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we're very, very open to collaboration with really any protocols that we can talk to. Right now, we've just been focused on making sure that we can deliver the best product. And then we're right after that, we're very much planning to get community pool tokens going so that other people can use liquidity on our DEX with their tokens and their projects. We've been focused on making sure that our product and protocol is the best thing that it can be for investors first, and for the health of the IZA token.
Yeah, and something else that I'd add to that is that if anyone in here has any projects on Aurora that you're either running or you're a fan of or whatever, my DMs are open. Goat's DMs are open, and I think Dog's DMs are open, and we're all accepting of offers for collaboration, because as we said earlier, I think that's the way forward.
Definitely. So maybe we piggyback off that a little bit, guys, when we talk about, this plan forward here. What does that look like? I know you guys said maybe some, a bridge coming over to help out, but maybe a little bit without releasing too much alpha, maybe what do the future days look like for Amaterasu?
So I really want to bring more gamification to crypto in general, and just so that everyone knows, this is like high in the sky sort of stuff, because it takes a long road and a large team to do these sort of GameFi projects. For anyone not familiar that's in the room, I actually did the business development for DeFi Kingdoms from basically day one of them being live, and then I eventually left DeFi Kingdoms just a few weeks to go work for Harmony Core itself. And I have a good amount of knowledge on what kind of resources it takes to do successful GameFi projects. And it is a ton of work. It's a lot of stuff. If you're wanting to do anything more simple than a 2D side scroller with a token involved for saving high scores sort of stuff, like BSC style sort of low effort GameFi projects. And I want to see more GameFi on chain. And I think that we have some plans on that. Goat, you can elaborate, or you can stick with my vague sort of
I think you've said quite enough, Lou. But I think that there's tons of different ways that we're looking to expand. Each of us, if you look at the team's background, has a lot of different experience in different protocols, and really their backgrounds as well are very impressive outside of that. And we're basically going to try and take all of the experience from what we've seen successful that we've either built ourselves or been a part of in some capacity, and bring that on chain and build out a lot of utility for the token and the DEX itself. And we're really I just want to reinforce again, if you're, like Flu said, if you're a protocol and you have something cool and you want to collaborate in some fashion, please reach out to us.
Gamified DEX, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know. It'd be cool to see what comes of that. We don't need to go down that rabbit hole a little bit more. I'll let you guys save some of that alpha, but that'd be pretty fun. Tell me, guys, And actually, I just brought Peaches up here. Peaches, I don't know if you wanted to introduce yourself, slight any words on how you fit into the Amaterasu team.
Yeah, totally. I'm Peaches, and Cryptina, who I can't see, but who's also in the chat. Cryptina, if you can hear me, I had to use my phone to become a speaker. But so me and him are the main devs on this project. We started, Cryptina, initially started like early Harmony. He's been pretty OG. And then I started working with him, and we initially created Fox Swap on the Harmony chain and are working with this team, to help grow on the Aurora chain. And everything they said so far, I'm totally behind. And we got a lot of cool stuff coming. So I'll leave it at that and let the other guys, let the questions come, and let the other team members keep leading it on.
Fox Swap, by the way, is the home to the liquidity, is the main source of liquidity for not only WinLambo, which is I think number 2 or 3 on the weekly for volume in GameFi last week on Harmony, but also Tranquility City, which is also a very successful GameFi project on Harmony.
And that's built by GameStation, one of our other developers.
Yeah.
And our CTO.
So the CTO, as mentioned before, Gaines, the one that actually helped develop one of the first dexes on Harmony, is also, I believe, the lead dev. I could be wrong on his position, so if you quote me, be prepared to be shouted down. But he's the lead dev on Tranquility City, which is like a crypto version of The Sims, and already has like a live 3D interface where you can like walk around, go inside and outside of buildings, do customization. They have like land plots and stuff. Like it's a lot. Kurt Hokage, who's in the audience, is on Defira/Tranquil, and that is actually where one of our other team members is from, which is Mighty M. And Mighty was the community manager for Defira and Tranquil, and I believe that they currently have about $400 million in TVL.
Hey guys, this is Brian. I just wanted to take a quick step back. Can you tell us about your decks that you're building? Kind of what's your launch mechanism? What type of launch you're doing? Is it all liquidity mining? A little bit about the tokenomics and kind of what pairs you're going to be launching with today.
Dog, you want to take that one? You've got all those numbers in front of you. I know it because you're so organized.
Yep, as organized as it gets. So we're going to be doing a fair launch to start, and we're launching in about 34 minutes from now. It's going to be a complete fair launch.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're coming up. So to start, we're only going to have native pools, and that's going to be paired with our IZA token. But after that, after we launch and everything, our farms are going to be live, and we're going to have pairs like IZA Near, IZA Aurora, etc., IZA USDC. And then once we get going, the reason why we only have native token pairings is because we want to preserve our token price. And then we're going to start launching other liquidity pairs to actually benefit the ecosystem, like Near USDC, Aurora USDC, etc.
That's super cool. Hey, can you dive in on the IZO Near, IZO Aurora? Are these peg tokens to the price, or how's that work?
No, that's just the liquidity pool. So we're going to be our main source of liquidity, and we're going to be putting $12,000 of our own money into the initial liquidity for the launch, and that's going to be the Aurora IZA pair. And we're just going to start off with that one. People are going to be able to buy their IZA, and then we're going to open up the farms 30 minutes after that, so that way everyone's able to add their liquidity and everyone has a fair chance. The main thing is the reason why we chose this way to launch is because not all countries, like the US, you're not technically allowed to participate in ICOs. So we wanted to make sure that everyone is able to participate fairly, and we thought that a fair launch was the best way to go about things.
Okay, so what's the initial pool that you're doing? You said 12,000 into the IZO pool, IZO Near. And how much token is available to purchase in this fair launch?
IZA Aurora, actually.
IZO Aurora. Got it.
It's going to be IZA Aurora, and it's going to be paired with 60,000 IZA coins.
Got it. So is this the mechanism for price discovery coming out of the gate?
Yep. So that's going to be our only pairing for the first 30 minutes. And then after that, the farms will be open, and that's going to allow liquidity for other tokens like EC. Yep.
Okay. What's your token? How much token are you releasing, and how much is the circulating supply?
That is going to be the only circulating supply when we release. It's 60,000 IZA, and then our emissions are going to be pretty low. That way, you're not just emitting more than we put in right off the bat. We're kind of keeping things level. We're not some ohm fork where we have 1,000,000% APR. We kind of want to be conservative here.
Come on, dude, really. I need that 5,000, 10,000% APY. Come on, man.
I feel I don't know. At least for me, I feel projects that have high APR, they tend to dump really quickly. A whale gets gets the most of the shares. They start farming it with the high APR, and then they just keep dumping. They wait for everyone to buy it, and then they dump on everyone's faces. And we kind of wanted to eliminate that from our protocol.
So speaking of that, there's some anti-whale measures that we have. Can you talk about that a little bit, Dog?
Yeah, absolutely. I can't really say too much on that because, that would kind of go against everything that we're doing and, preventing whales and botting. But we do have mechanisms in place that are going to stop bots from being able to, buy up our entire supply as soon as we launch because, it's not really too fair to the regular retail traders.
I'm not going to name any names, but one of my friends reached out to me yesterday and was like, I'm going to buy 10,000. And I was like, well, you can't do that, but I appreciate your support. You just got to do smaller buys. And Rebecca, you had a question or a comment?
No, just guys, you actually do with the launch fair and you really think about the user and the longevity of the project, which is really admirable. And by the way, thank you so much for your feedback on the integration, how we work together. And it will be even more a pleasure to work with further. So yeah, thank you so much for your feedback.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're just speaking the truth over here.
Following up on Brian, you mentioned 60,000 tokens. So what is the total cap for Easy?
There isn't a max cap to start off. Our emissions are relatively low. It's not like we're just, printing to the oblivion. So we're fairly conservative, but what we're going to do later on down the line is we're going to use our governance token, which is XIZA, and our users will actually be able to vote on whether or not we want a cap and what that cap is actually going to be. So we want to get the community involved and establish a DAO.
We want to have enough room to grow because some of the things that we've been mentioning, those can get really big. And so we want to be able to have the opportunity to continue to grow. And then, like Dog said, eventually when we can put it up to a vote, the community will decide with us. But it's something that we find necessary at the moment.
Actually, Peaches, you're up here. Oh, sorry, Cheesy. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, why did you want to build this DEX on Aurora, and what are you seeking to differentiate from Tri-Solaris?
So why we wanted to do it on Aurora is something we covered a little bit earlier, but I'll go over the quick high points, which is the quality of the team that we were actually working with, which is the Aurora core team. And it's also the fact that we actually see in Aurora a very young Harmony, which is where all of us, our kind of primary homes are. I'm Harmony core, for example. And we also just see a big future for the chain. As far as differentiation, we have bonds that are going to be going live relatively soon to bring a little bit more utility to the Easy token. And we also are looking into far future plans such as gamification and other methods of making sure that our token always has utility. That and the ability and the aforementioned by Goat desire to form a DAO ASAP and leave things like the max cap of the token and the what that cap is of the token to the holders of XIZA, which is our governance token, also point to how we're trying to sort of make sure that the centralized exchange just stays decentralized.
I want to add one more thing that we touched on earlier is that we're really not trying to come in and compete and do the same things that Tri-Solaris is doing. We're really trying to add our own value with the types of vault and other things that we're bringing, as well as strategic partnerships with bridges, for example, to bring new tokens over that don't have a lot of liquidity already on Aurora. That would be great that you can then farm with on our DEX and add some liquidity on Aurora with those things.
Carolina.
A good project and strong team and a predictable and transparent roadmap planned and projected. I think in the near future, we'll see unprecedented growth of this project.
Yeah, and one thing I want to bring up is kind of the lessons that we've learned, specifically Cryptina and I, when we were launching FoxSwap and other decks on Harmony, is wanting to highlight the fair launch. We want to be at the beginning with everyone, not having an advantage on any pre-minted tokens. So I really want to drive that point home that our goal is really to grow with the project. And another big thing, a question that was brought up is future plans. Flew hit on bonds. This is something that Cryptina and I have done in the past and are currently doing on other projects. And we plan to and have discussions about getting bonds out fairly quickly to support the project. Other things that may come out fairly after that are auto compounding vaults. We have possibly a zapping contract where you don't need to go through the process of pooling and unpooling your LPs. It'll just, take a token, you zap it, and it goes into a farm for you or a vault for you, for example. But the big thing is we do have a lot of extra features that are coming in addition to the initial launch of the DEX. So, in terms of competing with other projects, we're still going to be releasing features. This is kind of the beginning of the road for us and not the end of the road, so to speak.
Yeah, something we're trying to do here is just get everything going so that we have kind of runway to continue developing on Aurora and make this into the chain that we know it can be.
So, question about like the pairings that you choose in the percentage, and it sounds like you got some like anti-whale protection there as well. I mean, what type of clientele are you looking to serve? If you're not trying to serve whales and whales and have all them like eat up all of like the APY, who's like your main target customer?
Whales can come in and like put in a lot of liquidity to go ahead and farm significant amounts of the token. And especially whenever you look at like the emissions rate is the emissions rate. And then you just split that between everyone equally divided on like their liquidity that they've put in, right? So like whales will still have the incentive to like whale in to the farms to get a larger percentage of our token. So it's specifically because of that it's going to take actual like capital allocation and not just the ability to buy it really early for a super cheap cost, which is what we've seen kind of be the death knell of a lot of other tokens on other chains. One of the weaknesses of FoxSwap itself is that the token currently suffers from a very, very early thing that happened very much in that same vein, where someone bought like 80% of the supply very, very early. I don't know if it was quite that high, Peaches, but it was pretty bad, right?
It was a significant amount of the supply, and luckily this person has worked with us and still is a supporter of the project, but that was very difficult because we wanted everyone to have some equal access, the ability to purchase some tokens, and that way they could for example exchange for X IZA and get some of the fee sharing. But when you have someone purchase a great amount of the supply, when someone whales in the future, they're just going to get the fee sharing for themselves as opposed to the initial early investors that, put it equally in the beginning, as opposed, I guess we're not like anti-whale forever, but we want people to initially have the chance to purchase before some whale comes in, drops 100K or something or whatever, and controls, 90% of the DAO and our token supply.
Exactly. Yeah, Peaches summed it up very well. We're not anti-whale at all. We want whales to pop in our protocol. We just not at first. We don't want them to buy everything, especially at like near initial price. That just doesn't make any sense. We don't want any whale controlling the majority of our shares.
And that's the risk of the fair launch, and that's why we've put these protections in for duration. But it'll be more clear soon. Those restrictions will loosen up, and people will still be able to ape it as much as they want.
To be frank, like every project needs whales, and like there's a lot of hatred towards whales and like the damage that they can do. But there's some benefits to having deep liquidity, a lot of it, and
save the whales.
Yeah, save the whales.
Save the whales.
Maybe save.
Yeah, I kind of get your point. I kind of get you guys' point. Whales are very, very much important in having deep liquidity, but community is also very, very much more important, whereby everyone feels part of the project and they feels part of when they feel ownership of the project. And so I get your point in some ways. And I like your style, definitely. I feel the community would really like this. And most especially the gamification side of it. This is different from every other thing that's on Aurora. I'm actually intrigued to see how this is going to work. The gamification side of the DEX, never seen it. So I'm personally intrigued on this.
And to speak to that, a lot of the details are still, it's kind of in flux. We don't have all the like the future gamification plans that is, way down the road, but maybe not way down the road. But there's definitely things that we want to keep building on this project, and we want the community to weigh in on that as well. So, as you start getting into this project, we'll have a DAO, and we'll be seeking input from the community to see what you all would like to, basically how we would all like this project to go, and not just leaving it up to us, the oligarchs, for lack of a better term. We want it to be, very community driven.
Okay, so like to recap, like if I want to get involved, I got to have Aurora token. So I got to get my Aurora token ready. And in 20, 30 minutes, I come in, I trade Aurora for IZA, and then I can create a pool and then ape in on the fair launch. Yes?
Exactly.
Yep, that's it.
Killer.
So have Aurora to buy the initial, as close to initial as you can, and then prepare some liquidity, add to the pool, deepen the liquidity. Remember that by deepening that liquidity, especially early, you're helping to stabilize the price, because the more capital that it takes to actually move the price in either direction, the less that big sells affect the price and the less that big buys affect the price. And so you're essentially creating your own stability. That's a big reason why like a lot of other dexes have been successful in their launches whenever they do limit that initial pump and dump sort of mechanism. So
very smart. You guys are going to say it, but it's wicked smart. Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. We're excited.
All right, Peaches, or actually Aurora Community, what do we got?
So one more thing. Is the website live yet?
The website is currently live, but is still everything is routed through the Aurora testnet right now. We're just making some final. We'll be pushing out some final changes in just a minute here, and everything should be ready to go after that.
Okay, just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, I will, and we will be sure to send out some confirmation tweets and notifications so people, know the official setup. In fact, let me double check with Cryptina, but we might have these things in place pretty soon. So I will let everyone know about that.
I just want to say thank you to the Aurora community for really, really coming in and caring and listening and being here, being so supportive. Not just the core team, but the community. You guys have been awesome so far. We see all the blogs you're doing. We're really appreciative, and it motivates us to continue doing what we're doing and bringing more progress to Aurora. So thank you guys so much, and thank you to everybody in core who has tapped in, and appreciate you, Brian, Cheesy, and Aurora community for asking such great questions.
And Rebecca. Also, speaking of Rebecca, did you have any questions? But also, I wanted to just say that whoever made that graphic that was like listing all projects that we were on and everything, you're really based. And I don't even think that was anyone that was a core team member. It was just a really based thing to do. And I think that y'all lifted the spirits of everyone on the entire team. Like, it was awesome.
I'm gonna second that, because the
template is sick.
It's freaking it's a great graphic. Keep them coming. Whoever was it, Rebecca, was that you that made it?
No, I wish, but I think it was someone on the team it's actually from Near Ecosystem. But yeah, I can guys introduce you. It's amazing designer.
Yeah, let them know that we think their work's awesome.
For sure. Guys, so exciting. It's 13 minutes left?
Yeah, we're getting there.
Oh my God.
We might want to just open this up for the community. Anybody that wants to ask a question, let everybody be able to answer. So if anybody wants to ask the core team or the Amaterasu team any question, I believe we can actually make up 5 minutes for that.
Absolutely. Raise your hand and fire away, guys.
Also, Jeremiah, I see you in the audience, bro.
All right, so I got a question again. Just real quick, inspiration, whose idea, how'd they get it off the ground, and why the name?
I think that this name was actually from Gaines, from Crypto Gaines, and the art was from another project that he had started and tried to do and had an artist for. And then I think other things got in the way. So he's now continuing forward with the same artist and with the same, strategy. Peaches, I think, has a little bit more on this, though.
Yeah, so it is Gaines, I believe, that came up with this. And it's too bad he's not here, but Amaterasu, I think, is the Japanese sun goddess.
Correct.
Yes, the Japanese sun goddess.
But also, if you're a Naruto fan, it is Sasuke's pretty OP move, if anyone knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I would say those are the two influences. At least when I heard Amaterasu at first, I instantly thought of Naruto.
Almost time, guys. Almost time. Let's fucking go.
Absolutely.
Let's fucking go.
If we don't have any questions from the community, I guess we can end it a little bit early to let everyone get ready to ape in. I know that I have my laptop set up in front of me, but yeah, if anyone else has any questions, please let us know. Here's one. Odin's, and I think Rebecca had something as well. Rebecca.
I just wanted to add that I also like looking at the dashboard ready to go. But yeah, I think Odin's just added himself as a speaker.
Yeah, I got a quick question with the launch of the BSTN token from Bastion Protocol coming up soon. You guys talking with them about potentially adding some liquidity pools?
We aren't currently talking, but I'll definitely reach out to them. Thank you for the suggestion. We're totally open for community tokens and liquidity pools in that aspect. We have some ideas, and that's part of our strategy, as Flu has alluded to, is brand partnerships and being part of the community and creating this interconnected network that we want to strive for is really what the goal is.
Awesome. Now would be the time, because they were about to go live this month. They had to push back the launch just to get all the kinks ironed out. But they paid out the near rewards today for their lock drop, which just completed. Their target was 60 million. They ended up with 293, bringing that to the Aurora ecosystem. So definitely don't overlook them.
Fantastic. We'll definitely look into
Bastion,
that. Yeah.
I think that Bastion actually messaged me at some point, but I've definitely lost the PM. So if you have a connection within that team, Odin's, I would be glad to follow up with them. Many apologies. I'm just at NFTLA, and it's been it's been a week, bro.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. The introduction to Bastion, Origami, any protocol you need, just let me know. As long as it's on the Aurora network, we have a relationship with every one of them.
That's why we love you guys.
So
Yeah, the system.
best thing to do with them is go to their Discord and open up a support ticket. That's how you can communicate directly with the core team, and they'll get back to you pretty quick.
Can you handle that, bro?
Yep. Sure.
Thank you, Odins. Very, very solid question. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that was a great question. Thank you. Great
Thanks for
insight.
what you guys do, and thanks for putting on all these good spaces.
So I think it's going to be a good time to wrap it up and give everybody some time to actually get prepared. I have my laptop in front of me, just trying to connect, trying to get this done. So, and I'm sure we want to be able to move this from testnet to mainnet. So let's fucking go.
Let's go, guys. I just want to thank everyone again. Thank you very much. And my DMs are always open. If anyone needs help with anything, or if anyone has any connections, love to talk with you. Thanks, guys.
Also, I'm gonna go ahead and open this up at the very end. Unfortunately, as far as giveaways, I don't really have any like Aurora native things to give away. But what I do have is an absolute shit ton of DeFi Kingdoms heroes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Let's go.
I would say that
Brian, right?
whoever comes up with the best, like I don't know. I'm gonna open it up to memes. I'm gonna open up to graphics. I'm gonna open it up to everything. But you have to tag me. You have to tag Aurora Community, which is the co-host up here, and you have to tag Amaterasu. That's the only rules. So it can be any sort of graphic, meme, video, music. I don't care. Any community contribution, the best thing that I pick out, the team picks out, will receive not just any hero, but it'll receive like a full summon Gen 1 between my Mythic Shiny Gen 0 team hero and another one of my, actually I'll probably hire out for the second one, but it'll probably be a hero worth a good $1,000, $2,000.
Now that's what we're talking about. Woo!
Let's go.
Woo! I'm doing that, man. I need to start doing learn graphics now. I might be able to push out something myself.
And also, Aurora Community is not eligible. I'm sorry.
Yo!
You're too deep.
All right, man. That's what people. That's that. So, we do this again sometime soon, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming on board this. And let's push this forward.
All right, we're gonna, Dog, if you could do an announcement on that giveaway in the Amaterasu Discord. That's also where you can find us, guys, is the Amaterasu Discord. Please go ahead and join that so you can stay up to date. Even if you're not aping the token today, that's fine. Just stay up to date, because we'd love to become sort of a community gathering place for Aurora as a whole. If anyone else has anything from the team, let me know. But otherwise, I think we're good. Dog, you got anything?
No, that's it. Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate y'all coming, and I hope to see you in our Discord server.
And I'll see y'all in the IZA pool in about 5 minutes.
Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.